Our next reader tonight will be Charlene Stegman Moskal. Charlene is a teaching artist with the Poetry Promise organization of Las Vegas and Spratt International Arts Program. She's also a visual artist, a performer, a voice for NPR's Theme and Variations, as well as a writer. Before retiring in 2014, Charlene taught visual arts at the middle school level and theater and communication for high school students. Charlene is published in numerous anthologies, print and online magazines, including the TAB or Tab Journal, Calyx, Humana Obscura. Her chapbooks are One Bare Foot from Zeitgeist Press, Leavings from My Table from Finishing Line Press, Woman Who Dyes Her Hair, Kelsay Books, and a full poetry collection called Running the Gamut, also from Zeitgeist Press. She can be found most days at her home in her studio with her 3 dogs, Scruffy, Mops, and Rags, where they nap and she writes. Please welcome Charlene Stegman Moskal.
Okay, now I'm unmuted. I guess I'm kind of being kind of an unabashed self-promoter, so I pick poems from each of the books that have been published, as well as some stuff that has been published recently in other magazines. So this one is from One Bare Foot. That used to be me. Okay. And this one is for my mom. Its title is An Ordinary Woman. She told me she was born with a veil, a thin membrane slick from birth covering her face. She told me the midwife pulled it down, a mercy. Had it been pulled up, the future would flutter before her eyes darkened butterfly wings, making a mockery of discovery. She told me better to have never revealed mysteries, never revealed gifts, never revealed destinies. She was thus an ordinary woman, startling, a realist, no diviner here. The call pulled down, detached from prophecy, drawing into her fiber wisdom, gleaned from generations of mothers. Let's see. Ooh, now I might cry with this one. This one is from Leavings from My Table. And most of the poems in this are kind of elegies. And this one, like I said, I might cry. This was written shortly after my husband passed away. It's called Each Time. I never saw you as old, no more than one would see an ocean as old or weak, deny its immutable power. Renewed each time, a wave licks the shore or crashes ecstatic into it like a child naked outside in a summer downpour. Renewed each time, the green-white foam is sucked out and comes racing back, as if it had forgotten something. That's how you were to me. Renewed each time, you were gripped by those inconveniences that sucked you out from our bed, landed you in sterile rooms. Renewed each time. I always thought you would return, as if the tides in your blood had to rush back to find me, waiting on the shore. Renewed each time. And I didn't cry. Ah, okay. This is Woman Who Dyes Her Hair. And I've just selected one of all the chapbooks and a couple from the larger book. This is about a rug. How is it that I have chosen a profusion of roses at my feet? I, who am prickly without help, stand on flowers that can't be crushed. My feet planted firmly on roses in vases shaped like urns to hold remains of ashes and bone fragments, roses in cartouches without names, clusters in black ribbons, impossible roses, the color of cream with deep pink centers, like a baby's mouth when it searches to suckle mother's milk. Roses, pursed as newly opened buds, the color of red wine, shades of carnal knowledge, inner petals, the deep claret of passion. No need to tread carefully, no need to watch my step. I walk with impunity. These roses have no thorns. They have been cut out of the roof because I've had it with things that wound. Huh. Okay. And this is from Running the Gamut. Okay. It's called Midwife. I would like to have been midwife to the gods as the mountains were born, as they cracked upwards, sounding like voices in hell, screeching tectonic plates gnashing against the thrusts and pulls of birth, pushing upwards, falling back, folding in, melting, entwined, struggling, passionate in the first throes of the first time. I would like to have seen hot bursts, a veil of embers fly in a smoke-dark sky, tongues of crimson, orange, neon pink, flickers of blue, chemical green, white ash offer the earth the taste of color, thick and warm, oozing into itself, scarring the rock with brilliant tattoos. I would like to have inhaled the diffusion of ozone, the choke of sulfur, the gaseous effluvium that signaled emerging beauty, raw and naked, ready to receive the seeds of thought, as angels disguised as stars watched and submitted their decree that all was good. Another husband poem. And this is a true poem. Well, I guess they all, in some degree, are lucky. Sorry about my voice being all weird tonight. Lucky. We were a pair, he and I. We sat naked by the pool and said, "Boy, are we lucky." His skin was softer than mine, tenderized by age. It had few muscles to cling to. It was 2 sizes too large. Flesh cascaded in lava flows from chest to belly to pubis, crenellated along the upper edge of his thigh to the bottom of his buttocks. He saw himself in the mirror, but not in my eyes. Only now can I acknowledge what he saw. I find imperfections that emerge overnight, like strawberry plants spreading rhizomes in my skin, my muscles, my flesh. Where once I was smooth, supple suede, I am now dry riverbed, alligator. I do not recognize my shape in the mirror. She is a bruja who by magic inhabits my body. He hid it well, said I was beautiful, but I heard his voice wanting that to be true. And so we sat naked by the pool, unembarrassed, and ignored the changes, reassured each other, and said, "Boy, are we lucky." Oh, and this is a poem for my chosen sister. My sister would not have been like you. I would have kept her locked in a closet, only when I had to, like on holidays or birthdays, or when I was feeling mean. I would not have to share my mother or my toys with you unless I wanted to. You are my chosen sister, our history more accepting than the frailties and foibles engendered in blood. Our book would be scented with lavender oil, written in brushstrokes of India ink, a beribboned accordion book, its pages rife with secrets and laughter, misgivings, loss, and love. It would be titled Trust. Love would be understood on the second page without fanfic. This was this was in Lady Liberty Lit. Someone asks, who are the strong women in your family history? Do you not see me here? I'm standing in wrinkled skin and gray hair, writing with the spirit that doesn't understand age. Do you not see me here? Held together by glue, oozing burgundy red strands strong like my grandmother's braids. Lullabies, entwined, stored under the skin, carry the rhythms of their lives beyond death. Do you not see me here? There were no weak women from whom I was birthed. There were none who were not oracles, resolute with hope their stories would be told, scratched into clay, inked on skins, rolled into scrolls, drawn on genome maps that kept their histories alive. Do you not see me here? I am typing them on paper. I am painting them in words, fierce, protective, generous. They are dressed in strong shrouds, colorful as the generations they bore. Do you not see me here? This was published this week in a phenomenal magazine, which I just received, called Dyslexia. It's from the United Kingdom. It's just mind-blowingly beautiful. It's called The Wash Basin. They had a showcase on snakes. And so I sent them some snake bones. And here's this one that they picked. The Wash Basin. The photo showed a deep metal basin, slightly rusted, or maybe it was old blood, with swirls of scratch marks, desperate as if something wanted out, something small with claws or maybe talons. I think it was a snake whose legs had grown back, who spit its venom in the face of gods and angels. Thrown down, landed in a galvanized tin wash basin as Seraphim stood over it, stared, maybe even laughed. An empty wash basin can't do much washing away of sin. Perhaps that was the point. Or maybe they were just being cruel as they watched it circle over and over, each time in widening concentric circles. That left its imprint, a lacerated message, something revealed about consequences. This was written after a visit to a doctor's office. Review. It's called One More Pale Room. Who would put women desperate for good news into this small, windowless, mushroom-walled, pale green room? There is a cold fluorescence here, as if hope were diluted with bleach, then left to dry hard, all suppleness and light wrung out, an overused dish rag, nothing to brighten the mood, not even the glare of sterile white, only a dullness to match the walls, floors, cabinets, muted voices, muffled conversations from the room next door, where the news is delivered like dispensations from a priest, resonant, serious, unblinking, as if our bodies confessed their deeds and were now told the price they would pay, regardless if there were sins or not for which to atone. And this came out this summer in Southern Quill. My skin is rivulets of time. Traces of what was firm move soft on muscle and bone, as if sand that shifts on dunes. There are few places not writ in age, few parts that tell of the girl who was. There are only remnants like clouds that winds scatter and disperse, make thin until they disappear. I am the shape changer, whose beauty was stolen, worn as a tattered cloak by the hourglass guardian. This is about my grandfather. And then there are just a couple more past this. My grandfather was a tailor. Perhaps he sewed or cut or altered. I never knew him. I want him to have made something whole to cover vulnerable parts. I too am a tailor. Stitch chosen words together from the fabric of my life. Swatches of memory, the orange-black heat of desert rocks so hot they are pale like forbidden ash. The green-brown spice scent of forest floors, paths through trees made of centuries that hide things, that crawl and burrow. Swaths of sky on galaxy blue nights when the full moon obscures the stars, or Stygian nights, ones when the only light is a wish. I want to believe I have his skills to put something sharp into something pliable, create garments of words to try on or take off, make a costume for love and a different one for loss. I want to fashion a wardrobe of words to touch the skin of anyone brave enough to try on the pieces of me, the now of me, and the ancient memories carried in my DNA, proof that the past never entirely fades from the fabric. And this one was written for Melanie and some other people. You know who you are, I think, if you're here. And even if I don't know you, you know who you are. It is called She Knows the Names of Things. This was just published in Willows Whipped just this week, actually. I know I've said this before, but each time I read it, hear it, I feel that I've been left behind, encased in my concrete wall as I look out through the chinks at a green space for which I haven't the words, and she knows the names of things. I see all the browns, ambers, moss, and emerald. I see those that stand tall, and the creepers with their small violet flowers, the tiny buzzing and stinging things, the crawling between the blades of grass things, and she knows their names as if they were lovers, or at least good friends. I see them from a distance, ruffled, feathered, the camouflaged, and those that say, "Here I am, see me." All those with their beaks and talons and nests and flights, I hear them busy in their world, chittering, squawking, trilling. I know I've said this before, but each time I read it, hear it, I am envious because she knows the names of things. They roll off her tongue easy as the alphabet. She knows the names of things, and I never will. And this is the last one, which also deals with names of things. This is also in Willow's Whip this week. It's called A Place is Only a Place. I never knew the names of things. Things that live in woods, on plains, wild things with feathers, fur, scales. Never knew the names of wildflowers. No one told me. They didn't know. Here's some of what I did know. I knew the difference between mouse and rat, that squirrels were not chipmunks. I knew cats and breeds of dogs, what poison sumac that grew in abandoned lots looked like, and that those were blackberries on the dusty bushes that lined the walk. I knew the trees in front of the building were maples, that in spring there would be seeds to put on my nose. I knew what the smell of exhaust fumes from a number 60 bus was. Knew the smell of juicy fruit gum, perfumed ladies and drunks on the 42nd Street IRT platform. Knew the smell of dog shit on summer sidewalks and the comfort scents of cabbage and garlic that came from the apartment next door. Welcomed the metallic hot scent of old radiators in winter. I could recognize the cry of seagulls at Coney Island in Far Rockaway, the subway screeching to a halt or heaving around a bend, the different sirens that interrupted night, the rumblings of train tracks on the L, the thwack sound of a hard rubber ball against a handball court in a gravel playground. I knew city things, while I yearned for and feared the enormity of what was beyond the perimeter of my world. I admit I envy writers who with authenticity speak of Queen Anne's lace and purslane, the seasoned spice scent of turned earth ready to accept seed, the voices of hawk and owl, the quiet of watched sunset from the porch of a white-clapboard farmhouse in the middle of a wheat field. Then I read their words, heavy as mine, with suspended questions. Realize a place is only a place. We both know the names of the things that matter. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Sandra, and the rest of Rivertown Poets for inviting me.